everyone, welcome to the meat shop. In this episode we're going to make a Christmas type sausage. Since we're making this in December, Christmas is right around the corner. It is the pork and cherry sausage, one I learned down in Olds College. I'm going to share it with you, I'm going to show you how to make it, and at the end we're going to taste it. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and let's make us some Christmas pork cherry sausage. Alright, so we're going to make a pork and cherry sausage just in time for Christmas. I wanted to share it with you guys before then. I haven't had this sausage since 2010. It's 2022 when I record this, December 2022. I made it in Olds College when I was going through their program back then, and I distinctly remembered it being pretty good, pretty interesting. A weird combination of things that worked out really good. Brad McLeod, who was my instructor, who is an awesome guy, said every time, or they make it every Christmas and they sell out every Christmas. So it is a pork sausage with glazed cherries inside. I don't even know how you would cook this in the end, like what you would pair it with or what have you, but that's up for you guys cooking at home. That's up to you guys cooking at home. This sausage here is pork, like I said, so I got 2 kgs or 4.4 pounds of pork butts chopped up into strips. I just pulled them out of the freezer so they're nice and frosty but not frozen solid. We're going to run them through the grinder on a 3/8 plate for the first grind, and then I'm going to run them through on a 1/8 plate for the last grind. So that's 10 millimeters and 3 millimeters. Then I'm going to mix the seasonings after they've gone through the fine grind. Then we're going to add the cherries in and run them through the coarse grind again. Something like that. What are the seasonings in the pork and cherry sausage? It's a fresh sausage, so you're going to cook it at home. There's no cures in this. It is salt at 18 grams per kilogram, mace 1 gram per kilogram, white pepper 2 grams per kilogram, coriander 1 gram per kilogram, allspice 0.5 gram per kilogram, just a small note, sugar or dextrose at 3 grams per kilogram, onion powder 1 gram per kilogram, binder 10 grams per kilogram, glazed cherries at 100 grams per kilogram, and water at 100 grams per kilogram, or 10%. So that's the recipe. I'll also have that typed out down in the description below. But we can take this pork and run it through our grinder now, which I have all rigged up. Everything's tight. Pork is nice and cold, so it runs through the grinder better. And by the way, I pre-mixed all the seasonings up for this, guys, so it's all ready to go once we get this ground up. Fire it up, nice and firm, but not froze. Pork butt's a nice option for fresh sausages because it's pretty much automatically 20% fat to 30% fat, depending on how fatty they are. So that gives you a nice juicy sausage in the end, and it's tender. There's not big chunks of silver skin or cartilage or connective tissue in there for you. So I'm just going to run this through the first grind. Some yummy grinding action for you. Yum. I'm just going to probably pop this back in the freezer, keep it nice and cold, and it's just easier for grinding. So I'm going to pop it back in, come back in 10 minutes. Okay, pork's nice and cold. Got that small plate on, so we'll just dump it in there and do that again. There we go. Round two. Round two of the grinding action. Yum. All right, we got the grinding done. Boom, beautiful pork shoulder. Now I'm gonna add the spices, just real gently, toss them in, run them through the grinder again on the coarse plate with the cherries and water. So I'll spin that off, get that ready, mix our spices up. We'll weigh out our cherries, 200 grams of cherries, 200 grams of ice cold water, then our spices. So let's do cherries first. And they got to be glazed cherries for this recipe. I'll show you. I guess they don't have to be glazed cherries. You can do whatever you want at home. Don't let me boss you around. But that's what the recipe calls for. It's like those ones you find in fruit cakes and stuff. Look. Ooh, they look good, smell good. I think I'm going to have to try one before I put it in. That's going to be good in there. Those are like candy. Holy. One more. All right, 200 grams, coming up. Okay, there we go. Set those aside. I'm tempted to just put those through whole like that. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Because they're pretty mushy. They'll go through the horn pretty good. So I'm not gonna run them through the grinder again. I'll see if it's a regret later on, but it's a split last minute decision. Cherries. Onto our pork. Spices. Onto our pork. Ooh, those spices smell good. They're very aromatic spices. Mace, white pepper, coriander, allspice, and a little bit of onion. Ooh, got a little onion up the nose. It's gonna be a very interesting sausage, and the sweetness, sweet tartness from those cherries. 200 grams of water to distribute our spice. Then we start mixing till you get your protein extraction. And there's those little cherries just popping out of the meat. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna break the recipe. There's 400 grams in this little thing. I'm not gonna use it for anything else. You don't see? Just because I give you the recipe doesn't mean you have to follow the recipe. Brad, give me this recipe. I'm gonna double up the cherries. Don't tell him. He never watches anyways. All right. There's double cherries in this sausage now. Things are going off the rails here compared to normal. I think it should be fine though. Like I can't see that affecting the protein extraction or anything. It's getting quite sticky already. Pulling my gloves off. But boy, does this smell really good. I'm quite excited for this. Bringing me back to old college memories. It's great. It's so funny how there's a tie between your taste and your memory. Sometimes you'll eat a certain thing and it'll take you back to a certain spot, or you'll smell something and it'll be a visceral memory of a time, the holidays, whatever. All right, we have protein extraction officially. All right, wham, there you go. Sticks to your hand real good. You're gonna have a nice snap. It's gonna hold the moisture better, so you're gonna have a juicier sausage. We've mixed it real good. Now we're gonna throw it in the stuffer and stuff it. You could stuff these into whatever you want. I'm gonna do 29, 32 millimeter casings because I like a little bit bigger, but I think these would be just fine in a smaller sheep casing or a collagen casing, something like that. But today they're going in 29, 32s. So I'll get that loaded and we'll twist them and taste them. Our hog casings here, they've just been soaking about, well, just before I started the video. So half hour, find one end, pull it out. Find the other, there we go. Same as always, if you've seen one of my videos, you've seen them all. You get 2 fingers in there, get a good little shot of water in there, and flush that salt out from the inside. Get nice and lubricated to go on the horn. And if you haven't seen one of my videos before, I forgot to mention, when you're filling the stuffing horn, be sure to push down hard and work out the air pockets. It'll make stuffing easier when you go to that step. Okay, stuffing time. I leave a little bit off the end of the horn there. Hopefully those cherries go through the stuffing horn, no problem. Yep, oh, look at them popping out of there. That's so cool. Might scare people off a little bit, the big red chunks. I think they're eyeballs or something like that. And we are at the end. There we go. Let a little pressure off of the sausage stuffer. Pull yourself some slack, rip it off. There we go. Look at those. They look so good. I was just thinking as I was stuffing these guys, I went with straight pork because that's what the recipe calls for. But one, I'm really curious to see how they taste. I haven't tasted them in years, but I think you could probably get away with using a little bit of beef. Beef and cherry go together, So anyways, I just pinch 6 inches, 5 inches, spin 1, 2, 3 times. Go to the next one, 5, 6 inches. Massage, can you see that kind of massage till you're 3/4 of the way through? Go the next 5 to 6 inches and twist. 1, 2, 3. Repeat till you have the intestines linked. All right, there we go. A linked bunch of pork and cherry. Let's snip 1 or 2 of them off. Now you could let them sit overnight easy in the fridge and then cut them up and package them the next day. I'm gonna dive into these right away. So I'll nip the end off there. I'm gonna cook myself 2 of them. If I cook more than that, I'll probably eat them, knowing myself. So here we go. 2 to a grill, which I have to go get. All right, we just pulled them off the pan there. dive into one. Look at that nice big cherry. Pretty good, pretty yummy. Let's try a bite. Dive in here. Oh yeah. Wow. That's quite yummy. Holy smokes. I don't usually like sweet and meat together. But the first bite of that with that big sweet caramelly kind of apple, that is so freaking good. I don't know how the heck you'd cook with this. Pancakes, waffles, hash browns, Boxing Day morning. This is the sausage for you. Wow, good flavor. And the rest of those spices really complement the sweetness from that cherry. Sweet meat is weird. Like normally I'm not a fan, but that's quite good. Another big cherry in that bite. Wow. Okay. That's cool, guys. That's a really good... Man, I love sausage making. 2010, that was the last time I had this. I don't know why I haven't made it again. So good. I'm happy I made this. I'm happy to share it with you guys. Maybe you'll make it over the Christmas break here. Make some ahead of time for your family and stuff. Some guests coming over, pull it out of the freezer, fry it up, impress them with this, because they will be definitely impressed. So, thanks for watching. Merry Christmas to you and your family and your friends and loved ones. Thanks again for watching. Take care. Merry Christmas. By the way, I'm glad I put the double amount of cherries in there. That's really good. No regrets. Double those cherries. I'm going to change the recipe down below. 200 grams of cherries per kilogram. Dang. That's crazy good.